This episode of NOLA Film Scene is sponsored by our fellow actor, Jana McCaffery, attorney at law.
Okay, guys. Hi, I'm Tatiana Piper. I'm an actress, I'm a model, I'm an influencer, and recently I became a mom. So that's another super role that I have. And what I'm feeling right now for NOLA Film Scene, I feel happy, I feel nervous, and excited.
Welcome to NOLA Film Scene with TJ and Plaideau.
I'm TJ.
And as always, I'm Plaideau.
Yay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent. We're back on NOLA Film Scene with TJ and Plaideau. He's TJ.
He's Plaideau.
And we're here with our super friend, Tatiana Piper. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Hi, guys. Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining
You're
us.
welcome. Tatiana and I have known each other since the pandemic. We did online improv together with the class. Oh,
wow.
so many people are afraid of, like I've talked to some big stars, like, I don't like doing it online. It's the same thing. You just have to leave pauses for lags in the communication.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I think it definitely helped to meet you guys all in person first and then kind of transition into this Zoom world. But we had an amazing teacher and an amazing team. So it was a safe place.
Nice.
David Hamilton from Anubis Improv is great, but I don't think we've met in person. I took the class after you did.
Really?
It's all right. We are. I'll start that over.
Hey, Brian, if you could, try not to bump your desk because it...
Yeah, Brian.
We can leave that in. We can leave that all in. It's
here
fine.
in NOLA Film Scene, we're like, don't bump our desks, okay?
Because if you bump your desk...
I'll bump you, TJ. We can use this as a bumper for the, commercial.
This evolved quickly.
Which is always the best.
So funny, we never met in person, but it feels like we did. That's amazing.
We spent months, and to describe the class is just like people will see when we release the video, a group of people, maybe 6 or 7, our teacher would talk about improv and some of the, I don't want to say strategies, but lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone would pair up. Okay, you two do a scene, then you two. And everybody would get to do 2 scenes. And then at the end, we do the round table and go around. What did you learn? What did you feel? The amazing part of that to me was because of the pandemic, and it was the first anyone had ever experienced that in our lifetimes, we were all stressed out.
Yeah.
Most of you remembered it. Maybe some of you are young, don't even. Oh, boy, young people. But you were just a bundle of nerves. We do our improv. You touch the creativity in your heart. And everyone who went around that table said, I'm so de-stressed now. I'm feeling so light. It was beautiful. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was really good. Yeah, for sure. I remember that. Like I said, it was a safe place to be silly and to be just who you are when nobody's looking. But, everybody was looking.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bring on the looks.
Right.
Yeah.
And you and I have a connection through a mutual friend of Olivia Peck.
Oh, yeah.
We both were in Olivia's movie Todd's Popcorn Paradise. We just filmed at different times and didn't get the opportunity to meet in person, but it's nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you. What a small world. I love Olivia. She's creative, talented, and
isn't she great?
So silly. I love that. The silly, silly. I love silly people. I need more of those in my life.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump back. And it's my favorite question. What started you down this road of acting, influencing, any part of that? Where did you start?
Growing up, I was always very artistic. I did not know acting as a craft yet, but I was already acting my boots off anywhere I would go. I would pretend to be somebody that I'm not. I mean, not a liar, of course, but just loved establish different characters and loved being silly, and I loved observing people. And until this day, I think this is the quality that I really try to nourish in me. I love to observe people, and I take some things for myself and then I act like that, right? So I didn't know back then that it's such a valuable thing for an actor to notice things, little things. So when I was small, I was always that. I was loving to read poems and read in general and do little silly characters. When I grew up, I was like, okay, I actually want to be an actress. This is a path for me. This is just comes naturally. But unfortunately, growing up, as you know, I'm Russian, growing up in Russia, it's a little bit different over there. Creative professions, they're not as, I would say, the people don't look at them as, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, go you. They'd be like, okay, when is this phase gonna fade out and you're gonna go and be a doctor, a lawyer, or go build spaceships?
Right.
My whole family, I love my family, but they were not really encouraging that part of me. They were like, okay, she's too much. But you got to stop singing in the class, stop, doing this, just go steady to university, get a degree, and then we'll talk. And of course, I'm a good girl. I'm not gonna go against my family. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get a degree. And equally creative area, not as creative as acting, but not as expressive as acting, but equally creative. So I chose architecture and interior design and I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna remove myself a little bit further away from my family. Let me just go to like different country or something. So I ended up here in Georgia, in America, and went to college here, graduated, and worked a little bit in my field of architecture and interior design. Loved it, loved parts of it, but didn't love it enough to know that I can die happy now, I can climb the ladder and I'm just gonna be amazing. I was like,
Right.
something in my life is missing. And I started taking acting classes. Back then I was living in Atlanta and I started taking acting classes. And just something in me was like, a small part of me was just like, finally, let me come out. And I started to feel alive every time I would exit acting class. I was like, that was amazing, right? I didn't really, build a house or anything like that or plant a tree, but I feel nourished. I was like, this has always been my path, I feel like. So eventually I moved to Louisiana. That was because circumstances kind of brought me to Louisiana, to New Orleans, where I met you, Brian,
Yeah.
and Olivia. But honestly, I didn't want to move to Louisiana. I wanted to stay in Atlanta, but that was kind of not up to me by that point of my life. And pandemic happened. So I was already taking classes in Louisiana with Jim Gleason. Amazing teacher, actor, mentor. And at some point, I signed with an agent, Action Talent Agency. I signed with them. That was like a big breakthrough for me. I was like, yay, this is happening. I'm doing it. And pandemic happened. And I was like,
Right.
what? What's I gonna do? Like what people do now at this point. And I was like, well, I guess good thing I have my degree. But the funny thing, even during pandemic, unfortunately, even my degree profession wasn't something that I could like lean onto. So I was like, interesting. So what am I supposed to do now? And this is how I found influencing. I love fashion. I love all things styling. So that was my little channel of creativity, another channel.
Yeah.
Didn't go into it as like making money opportunity. Just went there, I felt like I need this creative outlet. And eventually during pandemic, I guess that was the right thing to do. Everybody kind of leaned on internet shopping and fitness online and all those things, where I found a lot of collaboration with companies who would, send me clothes. And eventually I started working with them, for them. And this is how I kind of served through pandemic. And after pandemic, moved back to Atlanta and signed with my agent AMT now. And this is my story. This is what brought me to my biggest to date role yet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Could you tell us about that role?
Yeah.
So I am absolutely blessed, grateful, happy to book an amazing movie called Superman. I'm still like, pinch me, everybody pinch me, because I don't feel like it's reality. It feels crazy because even in my home country, they can watch it. They can watch it with like not subtitles, but like a voiceover.
A dubbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound like some Russian person is like talking like me, and that was surreal, just surreal,
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I saw it this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You did a phenomenal job. And I kept nudging my wife. I was like, I know that person. I know that. And she was like, shut up. Let me watch the movie.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
What was your experience like on set?
It was incredible. In one word, it felt like a big family that I lost in a way. Everybody was just so up for anything. They were kind. Everybody also very, very talented, extremely talented. Everybody, as soon as the camera is on, everybody's just switched on and working. Camera stops, jokes and little dances and silly something. It was really nice to be a part of that little family, even though it was only for 2 weeks. I was on set for 2 weeks. Well, I say only, you know how it is, Brian. Sometimes like gigs
Yeah.
is like for like 2 hours or something. But it was, it felt like a home away from home, if that makes sense.
And it makes sense.
Did you have any scenes with the real star of the movie, Crypto? No. David's all right. James Gunn is cool. Did you get to meet Crypto?
Oh my goodness, Crypto. Funny enough, we had a dog that was on set. It wasn't like obviously the actual Crypto,
Right.
but he would come in and they would just shoot him for a little bit and yeah, he would leave. And we love that dog. I forgot his name, unfortunately, but oh my God, I just love dogs. And, you know, like trying to stay in characters between takes just to kind of gather my character is, I don't want to do spoilers, I guess.
Right.
Sure.
My character is supposed to be reserved and I'm not reserved. I'm like anything but reserved. So when I would see a dog, I'm like, oh God, dog, right there. And I was just wanted to just hug a dog. And when the camera is just off and you're like, can I hug you, dog, please? And the person, this is very sweet woman, she was the owner of that beautiful white dog. She would always like let us play with him and it was nice.
So you got to live that meme. Can I pet your dog?
That's right. That's right.
You know the one I'm talking about? The little girl wants to pet a bear.
Uh-huh.
There's a bear outside her inner yard. Can I pet you? I want to pet that dog.
Oh, I saw it
Yeah.
in this little skits on TikTok.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So-
funny.
I've been lucky enough to work background on a big set
Mm-hmm.
for like a week.
Wow. Mhm.
And even that, and background and then stand in and photo doubling. No.
Yeah.
And once you come back home, it's not like you're depressed, but you have to unplug from that life and go back to normal life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not bad. It just takes a couple of days to,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I left the movie set once and I went back to my janitorial work and I'm sweeping and I'm like, man. So how was it when you left the set?
It's a great question. I think the way I would describe it is you have this big energy inside of you and you put it out every single day, right? When you are on set, you have to multiply that energy sometimes because you have to make sure you are not only listening directions, you are absorbing what's happening. You have to remember your lines. Of course, you have to be in character. You have to believe in this world. So you spend so much energy existing in this world. And don't get me wrong, it's an amazing feeling that when this world is gone, and you are home and you just wake up and you're about to have a breakfast and you're at your table that you already seen so many times, that energy has nowhere to go. And you have to have meditation. You have to have some sort of ways to help your mind to calm down and get back to normal routine. And especially getting auditions for like a smaller projects or commercials or anything like that. And you like, okay, you just put this world that was a part of you and all that energy and don't be scared to step into something new because you're going to lose your mind if that energy keeps like bursting out and you have nowhere to place that energy. So it was bittersweet for sure. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't like end of the world. I was happy to finish with something because I wanted to see eventually what's the product will be. And also it was very early hours, all day on set. We were all tired.
Right.
It was nice to like sleep in, but at the same time it was definitely sweet bitter part because you just miss everybody and you have this like warm feeling inside of you that just, you know, we might never be in the same well, we will never be in the same place and the same
Right.
capacity as a team ever again.
Oh, yeah. Small movie, big movie, when things are going well and you sync with people like you're talking about,
Yeah.
and then you have to go home, you miss that part of you. Love my wife, love my family. And it's not that home is bad.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah.
Plus, you made it to DC universe. You know, you made it. That's pretty much a pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've said this many times. I'd love to be rich. Okay. I want to be a working actor, be good at my job, and I'm not worried about awards. But I want to be an action figure. And I think you can do it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to have to make it myself. So to me, you hit the top of the mountain. I'm so proud of you. I'm happy for you. I'm jealous as, but you know what I mean.
Good jealousy. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate it.
You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate it.
I knew her when.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly like I am guilty in terms of sometimes I don't celebrate my wins enough. I kind of brush it off, even in my acting class, numerous acting classes, actually. A lot of people in the beginning of the class would share their wins, right? And people would be excited to share how many auditions they had. Oh, I applied for this and this and this. And I'm sitting here, I got 3 auditions, maybe a callback, maybe booked something. And I'm like, should I talk about it? Like, should I be that girl who like show off? I always had this like a inner voice in myself that like, be humble, like cover your own, like don't share much. And now this part of me, I'm relearning this habit of being too humble in a way. Don't get me wrong, be humble, but don't cover your journey. Doesn't matter if it's you didn't book anything for a month or didn't get an audition for a month, or you were getting callbacks back to back to back and projects here, another audition there, because people will be inspired by your journey. I had so many people reached out to me saying like, thank you for representing Southeast. You know, like I have a hope in me now. I got so motivated. I'm going to go take acting classes now. And I'm like, holy moly, I just inspired somebody to change something about their life. That's pretty big. And I think I was like, I just need to, well, I'm already doing it. I'm sticking out my truth and what I've been through. I mean, acting wise, I'm not going to lay out my life onto you, but, and what my journey looks like.
Oh yeah. You're definitely not responsible, but you're definitely able to share your wins. But I could see where if you have a audition or booking or callback every day and putting that on social media, maybe you can hold a few back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, but I don't think you are a braggart.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I try to share mine. I get certain people like, oh, you're doing so good. And, you know, you're inspiring us. I hear that a little bit less than you. But at the same time, like when I see my friends doing it, and I kind of said it towards you, and it's not that we feel, oh, you didn't deserve it. We just want that for ourselves too. And that's all these emotions, leaving set, waiting for a callback, waiting for a chance to audition is an emotional roller coaster.
Absolutely.
Not to mention the emotional roller coaster of the role.
Yeah.
I always say this isn't ditch digging, but it has its own difficulties.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most difficult part for me was always, it's this contradictory thing where as an actor, you get an audition, you have to care so much about the character, backstory, you have to care about your relationship, you're changing the script, the contrast between beginning and the end. You have to care, you have to put yourself into this audition. But when you submit, don't care, just forget about it. This is very hard, I feel like, for any human being, especially actors, because as actors, we're trained to be empathetic. And that's what our craft is all about. We need to have this quality, like a really good human quality where we listen, we care, we understand, we respond truthfully. English is my not first language.
It's my first language and I struggle just as much. Don't worry about
English. Yeah. And that's the struggle is to kind of like, as soon as you submit the audition, just stop and erase. You starting again. Like it never happened. And I think I'm finally in a place where I'm actually submitting now and I'm not expecting. For the long time, it was just like, especially, you know, both of you might had something like that when your friends or family will tell you, so what are you working on now? How was that audition? Did you get it? And you're like, no, I didn't get it. No, you didn't get it. Okay, it's okay. You're not going to go into explaining how it works. Sometimes you can be the greatest actor in the world of actors, but they need somebody with hair because they don't have wigs,
I feel seen.
Or like they would ask TJ, you got to shave your beard. And you're like, oh my God, for a commercial that I'm going to get at, I don't know, $1,000 for, and I grew this beard forever. Oh my God. Like all this little things. Sometimes it's not up to you really. Sometimes it's up to big guys.
Yeah.
You can have the best audition and they don't like your look.
Exactly.
Yep.
You can have the worst audition and they love your look.
Yeah. Yep.
You just always do your best.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. That's all you can do is the best. Leave it all in that room and go on to the next one.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
Have you been injured? New Orleans-based actor Jana McCaffery has been practicing law in Louisiana since 1999, specializing in personal injury since 2008. She takes helping others very seriously. So if you've been injured, Jana's offering a free consultation and a reduced fee to fellow members of the Louisiana film industry. She will handle your case from start to finish. She can be reached at janamccaffery@gmail.com or 504-837-1234. Make sure you tell her NOLA Film Scene sent you.
Yep. And do it all again.
That's right. How did you learn English? Because I think your English is really good.
I'm going to cut out this part of this podcast and I'm just going to give it to my partner. He always teasing me that my English is, well.
We'll make you a ringtone.
Thank you.
And then keep calling you.
I know, right? I studied English in school, the basic version of English. But to get into university here in the US, I had to basically turbo all that. So I started taking like very, very loaded classes of English for 6 months. And I lived English around me, movies and everything. And when I got in, even then, I knew how to speak. And I mean, I knew how to write and how to listen and everything. But speaking part was always I was a little bit shy, I would say, just because in my country, for example, if you have an accent, people will just kind of make jokes around. And it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. America, thankfully, a little bit more inclusive. People were always encouraging me to speak and they're like, oh, I love your accent. I'm like, really? Like, what? And sometimes I would get nervous and just change the order of the words and book, table, put it there, like just crazy, whatever. But people would never make me feel bad for it. And eventually, of course, entering acting world, I started to take lessons with my dialect coach and started to sort of working on my accent, not in a way to completely remove it. I will never do that. Hopefully not, because I love my accent the way it is, but to be able to have a little bit more diversity in my casting. So, yeah. But for Russian or Slavic inspired roles, I have to turn my accent up, just be a little bit more that.
That makes sense.
You got to let it loose.
Right.
If I try to speak a foreign language, I knew at one time it's kind of faded away. I had a little bit of Spanish. I was conversational with Spanish and I was conversational with French.
Nice.
And I understand what you're saying about being self-conscious about speaking it around native speakers. I was always self-conscious about making a mistake and saying something, but people for the most part seem to be pretty forgiving. If they understand the gist of what you're saying, they're pretty forgiving and they move on with it.
Yeah. Kudos for anybody who were in that place and were forgiving. Thank you, guys. Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. What would you tell someone about either getting into acting or influencing a young person like me who started at their older age? Where to start? How would you inspire them?
That's a good question. First of all, anything that you are starting, I would say you just have to do it. Doesn't matter what you're starting out, you just have to do it. Because the best way to learn is experience. With influencing, that's a little bit different from acting. You just have to, in my case, I am styling and beauty influencer. Just grab things that you have in your house, style a dress that you love, style. Of course, the market is way more saturated right now, but if you love it, actually love it, you're not gonna care. And you have so many so many minutes in your day, and anybody who will tell me I don't have time for it, well, you don't love it enough. So just start shooting whatever. I don't know. You have a hairbrush. Show me how you use it, talk about it. And that's basically influencing. Yeah, of course, it's a basic version, but you have to start somewhere. You are going to look silly. You are not going to look perfect. But eventually, you will get collaborations. You will get people who will be like, hey, we also have a brush. We love that video about that brush that you did. Can you please do the same for our brush? And all of a sudden you're like, oh, are you also paying me? Wow. Okay, let me just get a light or something like more professional, kind of make it look way more presentable. And this is how you do it. And with acting is a never-ending learning process. Whether you are taking classes, whether you are shooting movies with your fellow actors, whether you are watching movies, you have to do something every single day towards that. You want to be in the movie? Learn what it's like to be in the movie. Go take a background role. It's really easy to get cast to get a background role. I'm not taking it away that maybe some people find it extremely hard. I'm not taking away anybody's struggles. But if you want it hard enough, you have to experience it. You have to take time, have to make time for it. So I would say first thing, go take acting classes. Acting classes is like, or if you don't have time completely, watch some recordings of somebody's acting class and see if it's for you or not.
Definitely. And look for a teacher who actually books roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has experience. You have to watch out for that.
Yep.
Yeah. And never pay for casting for agent until you make money.
Don't pay
That's
for
right.
casting. Don't pay for an agent. They get a percentage once you book.
Yeah.
Don't pay for a reel.
Yep.
Don't go to a company that will make your reel.
Right.
Yeah, unless you just like A-lister and you just don't have time. You can
Yeah.
always make a little reel for yourself, for sure.
Yeah, it's better to go make a YouTube video with your friends. You've written it out where you feel it.
Mhm.
Where the ones I've seen where people have paid for it, their energy is low. It's
Yeah.
a lot of people say it's a waste of money. I'll leave it at that.
And it comes across as homemade. It doesn't come across as
I mean, honestly, nowadays I've heard multiple casting directors talking about sometimes people submit self-tapes, like previous self-tapes of similar roles. Don't take my word for it, but honestly, I personally feel like if you have a badass self-tape that booked you something or that you are so proud of and that character is very similar with the character that you auditioned for and you don't have a reel, I mean, ask your either agent or just, go submit that. Some casting directors even will tell in the breakdown, submit a clip or submit a previous self-tape. Make sure that self-tape is like not under NDA or anything like that. But yeah, there are always ways around it.
Right. For background, look for mycastingfile.com and you can sign up for free.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have an agent and you want to get into acting, I mean, if you just jump in, it might take a while, but Actors Access.
Yeah.
That's how you can start learning about roles near you or across the country or whatever section you click on.
Mm-hmm.
Without having an agent.
Yeah. I remember in my time when I started out, I'm not sure how good this website is now, but I used to use Backstage. Backstage gave me quite a few little indie projects and like school projects. That's another good way to get good footage. Go and ask local university theater program if you guys cast anything anytime soon. When I was in Louisiana, I was checking out Tulane website all the time, and they once told me they're going to be casting something pretty soon. So I showed up. I had live auditions with students, and that was amazing. I got my first lead role that way and first supporting role that way. And until this day, I'm still in contact with on Instagram with those amazing, talented humans.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually always have theater programs usually have a really good quality cameras and good quality sound, and they also want to succeed. So they would want you to succeed too.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really great way to make some sort of a reel and experience.
The first role I ever booked was from backstage. It was a paid role. It wasn't very much, but yeah, I did the same thing. I used backstage in the beginning as well.
Yeah, yeah. And don't be scared even if it's not paid. For a person who start out, it's like, think about it like that. It's like, imagine you were training to be a surgeon and you come to the hospital for the first time in your life and somebody comes and be like, oh, I need a heart transplant. And you like, I'm a surgeon, but you don't have any experience. And you want to get your hands dirty right away. And you want to get, good money to do that and all that stuff. It doesn't work like that. You have to get experience. You have to keep walking to different doors and stuff and make sure it's all kind of aligned one day and you're there doing things.
Pay your dues.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you're going to work for free in the beginning.
And with influencing, I've seen some of your videos. You can look on trends of what people are like, how they hold up the clothes and then they're on you, or you split screen and you're like this or that.
Yeah.
You can watch and learn and then start.
Absolutely.
Kind of the same thing with acting.
Yeah.
It's a place to start and then you study and you need someone who knows. I feel like we almost got into the weeds on this subject, but we love it so much. Yeah. And that's the key component.
Absolutely.
You have to love it. You have to need it. Like Tatiana was saying, how it nourished her to be on set and that creative energy was able to come out where it can't in a normal life.
Yeah.
In normal situations, because this business will kick you in the teeth every chance it gets and not even meaning to be mean.
Yeah.
Like we say, we audition, we don't hear anything about it, somebody else gets it. And you see it and you're like, man, I could have done better than that.
Yeah. And a great thing is don't take it personal, for sure.
That's right.
Yeah, that's another thing that I'm just spitting out there, things that I went through personally. Sometimes it's easy as a human being to take something personally. Oh, they didn't invite me to film this project. I thought we're friends. Or they didn't tell me there is this workshop is happening. Like 5 of them that people that I know went and I didn't. Like, what's happening? Don't take it personally. If people, how would I put this? I don't think there are a lot of people who would want you to fail. If there are people like that in your circle, you should be careful with your circle. Yeah,
kick them out.
You take them out for sure. But people who are genuine and kind and they're understanding the path that you are on, they will never make you purposefully feel like you are less than you are. And as I said, if there are people like that in your circle, be careful. Be very careful and selective. But we're all in the same, we're all starting from somewhere. I wouldn't say we're all starting from the same plateau, because there are different backgrounds and different skill sets and different circumstances and environments, but we're all starting somewhere. So, and people who actually make it, I would say 95% of those people are kind, genuine, and actually care about other people. Otherwise, you can sense it on the screen. You're like, oh, this person is full of themselves. They don't even give an energy of like, here we go. I'm listening to my partner and on the scene, like, they just take all the attention on themselves, and you kind of sense that right away. I mean, I always I love to observe people, and I always sense those sort of things.
Very cool.
Tatiana, we're coming to a close here. Do you have any socials that you'd like to plug?
Sure. My Instagram is Tatiana Piper with a dot after Tatiana. My TikTok is also Tatiana Piper without a dot, I believe. And my website is tatianapiper.com.
If you don't mind, I'll ask you if you could close us out in Russian, whatever you'd like to say.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, guys. Спасибо большое, NOLA Film Scene, for having me. За то, что вы меня пригласили.
My friend, it was so great having you on. I'm so happy for your success, and I can't wait to see where you go next. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Пока-пока.
До свидания.